Serah Williams has announced that she's officially committed to UConn for next season. It was reported yesterday that she was on a visit along with Kaylee Heckle, both being from New York, so a return to the East Coast makes a lot of sense for both of them and from a basketball sense as well, as far as what UConn needs. But having heard from Kaylee Heckle, we do know that Serah Williams is officially committed to UConn for next season. Now, we already know what kind of player they're getting. A dynamic two-way player. She extends out to the mid range, not quite to the 3-point line, but she's dynamic from the mid range. She's very good at the rim. She's also a good rim protector. So they're getting a really nice player there and something that they've needed. They needed this a lot. Jenna Alfie never really did show the full potential and the promise of what we heard she would be last season. Obviously, still has some years to make that happen. Ice Brady kind of fell out of favor as far as the starting rotation goes, and her minutes started to come down as the season went on. So Serah Williams is definitely a player that they need. We'll see how much of that small lineup they'll play next season with Sarah Strong at the five. I'm assuming not a lot now that they have Serah Williams, but we'll see. LSU misses out on a great player. They've already gotten a lot of big players in the transfer portal, so has South Carolina. So the SEC, they're fine. They're fine. Texas, they continue to get 6'5" and 6'6" centers and 6'1" and 6'2" point guards, so they have a lot of sides coming in. UConn needed this to kind of shift some of the balance back their way. Now you have Serah Williams, AZ Fudd, and Sarah Strong as your big three there. They're looking to be a really good team next season, as we already kind of figured they would be. I do have more names to go ahead and announce. Let's start with Tia Sidbury. I mentioned that Texas was picking up some nice sides all across the board. They picked up Tia Sidbury, a transfer from Boston College, 6'1" forward, averaged 12.5 points, 7 rebounds, and 1.7 steals per game last season. They also picked up Ashton Judd, a transfer from Missouri, 6'1" guard who averaged 11.6 points per game, 5 rebounds, 1.7 assists, and 1 steal. Samaya Sugarpon, a transfer from UC San Diego. She announced her commitment to Arizona, 5'7" guard who averaged 14.8 points per game, 4.2 rebounds, and 2.5 steals. Aisha Nador, transferred out of Wichita State, will be playing with Georgia next season. 6'6" center who averaged 3 points per game, 3.6 rebounds, only played 11.7 minutes, so we'll see if she has a bigger role next year. Lizzie Williamson, who transferred out of NC State, she committed to Oregon State. 6'5" center who averaged 1.6 points per game and 2 rebounds, but she only did appear in 5 games before injury. Deja Turner, a transfer out of TCU, 6'3" forward, has committed to Northwestern for next season. Penn Steenbergen, a transfer out of Liberty, will be playing with Texas A&M next season. 6'1" guard who averaged 5.2 points per game, 3 rebounds, and only 14.9 minutes of play. Still has 2 years of eligibility remaining. Miriam Sonogo, a transfer out of Canisius. She'll be playing with Texas Tech next season. 6'2" forward who averaged 5.6 points per game and 4.6 rebounds. Angel Jones, 5'4" guard who transferred out of Coppin State. She's made her commitment to Pitt. 15.2 points per game, 4.7 rebounds, and 3.5 assists were her numbers from last season. Mariah Noel, a transfer out of Ole Miss, one of the many transfers out of Ole Miss, she'll be playing with Xavier. 5'11" sophomore guard who averaged 2.2 points per game, 1.2 rebounds, only played 8.5 minutes in 19 games. Henna Sandvik, 6-foot guard transferred out of Indiana, will be playing with Wyoming next season. Devin Hagman, 5'6" guard who transferred out of East Carolina, will be playing with DePaul in the Big East. And lastly, we have Corey Allen, the transfer out of Illinois, 5'10" sophomore guard who will be playing with Memphis next season. Still waiting to hear what's happening with Gianna Neepkins. And like I said, we have Kaylee Heckle and her visit to UConn yesterday. She still hasn't announced her commitment, so maybe that's coming later today. We'll see. If so, I'll be back with another, possibly the last transfer portal report of the year. I do want to give a quick thanks to you guys for watching all of the coverage this year. Hopefully you'll stick around for other topics that we have around women's basketball and beyond. And beyond. We have some surprises coming up. So training camp coverage starts today. Hopefully you guys will check that out. I'll catch you on the next video. Until then, peace.